Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to learn how to make this very cute and easy snail pattern. You can use this pattern in a number of ways. You can turn it into a keychain, use it as a pocket hug, or even stitch it into any of your existing projects like a blanket or a hat. I would also like to remind everyone to refer to the description for more details on the things used in today's video. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring. So wrap the yarn twice around two fingers and then make a chain one to secure the magic ring. So once the magic ring is secured, take it out of your fingers, and into this magic ring we will be making 9 half double crochets. So the chain one does not count as a stitch, and this is the first half double crochet, and we are going to mark it to identify it as the first stitch of this round. So we're done with one half double crochet. We will make 8 more half double crochets into the magic ring. So continue making a total of 9 half double crochets into the magic ring, which is for round number 1, and we are going to make the rounds in a spiral pattern. So once we reach the mark stitch, we are not going to slip stitch. Instead we will work on top of the existing stitches. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's complete our 9 half double crochets first into the magic ring. So you can keep adjusting the size of the magic ring as you make the stitches. You could make it smaller as you go. So once you are done with 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So once you're done with 9 half double crochets, pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring tightly. So now we are going to work on top of the first stitch, but we will not work into our normal stitch that we generally do. So I'll show you which is the stitch or where we need to insert our hook. So a stitch typically has these two loops. So this is the front loop, and this is the second loop or the back loop, and there's a third loop for half double crochets. So this is the third loop where we are going to make our stitches. So we'll do this for the remaining stitches as well. So we're going to make our first half double crochet into the third loop of the first stitch. So insert your hook into this third loop and make a half double crochet, and we're going to place a marker to identify this as the first stitch of round number 2. So for round number 2, the pattern is to make an increase in each stitch. That is, we'll be making 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So by the end of this round, you should have a total of 18 half double crochets. So this is the second stitch. Here too we will find the third loop, insert our hook and make the first half double crochet, and then make the second half double crochet. Similarly into the third stitch as well, insert your hook into the third loop and make 2 half double crochets. So continue in this pattern till you reach the marked stitch. Continue making an increase in each stitch, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 18 half double crochets. So you see, the reason we are making our stitches in the third loop is because it gives us this spiral pattern which is very prominent. So this is the shell that we are making for the snail, and I am going to make only 3 rounds for the shell, but if you would like to make a larger shell, you could continue this pattern till the size you desire has been acquired. So we're almost at the end of this round. So make your stitches into the last stitch, and you should have a total of 18 half double crochets. You can count and check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have a total of 18 stitches. Now we're going to make round number 3. So for that, remove the marker, and here too we will use the third loop. So into the first stitch, first make an increase or make 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. Place a marker into the first stitch of the third round itself and make the increase. So make the next half double crochet into the stitch. So the pattern for this round is to make an increase in one stitch and to make a half double crochet in the next. So we have making the half double crochet here. So we will make an increase in the next one, that is to make 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, and we are going to make 1 half double crochet in the next one. So we're going to alternate between increase and a half double crochet. So once we made the half double crochet, we're going to make an increase again. So we'll be continuing this pattern till we reach the marked stitch or till we reach the end of this round. So by the end of this round, you should have a total of 27 half double crochets. So continue making this pattern till you reach the marker. So this is the last round for me, and as I said, if you want to make a bigger shell, you could continue adding few more rounds. So once you have made the last stitch, so this is the second last stitch. In the second last stitch you would have an increase, and in the last stitch you would make a single half double crochet, and we are at the end of this round. We'll be removing the marker and we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch, but here too we are going to use only the third loop. So identify the third loop, and into this third loop of the first stitch make a slip stitch and then chain 1, pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and then trim it off. So here we are done with the shell part of the snail, and we are now going to stitch in the tail yarns. We have 2 tail yarns, one at the center and one at the end of the third round. So what you could do is, you could, if you would have left a longer tail yarn, you could use a needle, thread it in and stitch it into the existing stitches. Here I am using a smaller crochet hook and pulling the tail yarns through a few of the existing stitches until I feel that the yarn is secure, and then I'm going to trim it off. Similarly for this tail yarn as well, I'm going to stitch it on the wrong side or the opposite side of our pattern, and I'm just going to pull it through few of the existing stitches, and once I feel that the yarn is secure, I'm just going to trim it off. You could also dab a bit of glue to the ends to make sure that the yarn does not come off later. So there is no right or wrong way of stitching in a tail yarn. Just make sure that the tail yarn is hidden and it is secure enough that it doesn't come off. So here our shell is done, and the part where we ended the stitch will be the part where we're going to make the body of the snail. So skip this middle stitch and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches and mark the 5th stitch from the stitch where we made our last slip stitch. And similarly on the other side also we will be counting 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and mark this other end as well. So one end is for the tail of the snail and one end is for the head. So here the blue end is where the head will come and the red is where the tail of the snail will come. So we're going to flip it to the other side. Just flip it horizontally first and then flip it upside down. So this is how we are going to hold it and then make the body of the snail. So we're going to use a pink yarn for the body. We're going to make a slip knot with it and we are going to pull the slip knot through the red color marked stitch, which is for the tail. And here too we are just going to use the back loop only, since we are already at the wrong side or the opposite side of the pattern. So the third loop will be available on top itself. So this is the actual stitch, and if you see, and this is the third loop. So the third loop will already readily be available on this side. So pull this slip knot through this marked stitch, and this is where we are going to first make the tail of the snail. So to make the tail of the snail, we are going to chain 5 first. So make a chain of 5. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4 and chain 5. Now from the second stitch from the hook, first make a slip stitch, make another slip stitch in the next stitch. Now make a single crochet in the third stitch and in the last stitch make a half double crochet. So this is the tail of the snail, and now into the remaining stitches till we reach the blue marker, we are going to make one half double crochet in each stitch, and here too we will be using only the back loop of the stitches of the shell. So continue using the back loops and make one half double crochet in each stitch. Ideally you should have 10 half double crochets till you reach the marked blue stitch, but even if you have less or more, it is not going to make much of a difference, so you need not worry about it. So continue making the half double crochets till you reach the marked stitch. You may have also noticed that while I am making the stitches, I am also holding the tail yarn under my stitches, so that while making the stitches itself, I am hiding the tail yarn. You could do that, or you could just leave the tail yarn as it is and later on stitch it in. So here, since I have stitched in or crocheted over the tail yarn for quite some time, I'm trimming off the excess, and I'm continuing with the remaining stitches. So continue making the half double crochets until you reach the marked stitch. So here we are almost at the or towards the end and almost reach the marked stitch. So make your last half double crochet on the third loop of the marked stitch. Remove the marker, and into the next stitch is where we will make the head of the snail. So to make the head of the snail, we are going to make first 3 treble crochet into the next third loop. So to make a treble crochet, yarn over twice, pull a loop under the stitch, pull through 2 stitches at a time and do it 3 times. So yarn over 2 times, pull a loop under the stitch, pull through 2 loops for the first time, the second time and the third time. Let me show it again. So yarn over 2 times, pull a loop under the stitch, pull through 2 loops at a time and do that for 3 times. So we have 3 treble crochet now. Make a double crochet into the same stitch, and then make a half double crochet again into the very same stitch. And on top of this half double crochet we will make the tentacles. So for that, make a chain of 4 first, chain 2, chain 3 and chain 4. Now from the second stitch from the hook, make a slip stitch, make a second slip stitch and make a third slip stitch over the chain. And now insert your hook into the base 2 loops of this half double crochet and then make a slip stitch here again. Now make the second tentacle, and this will be a shorter one, so just make a chain of 3, and from the second stitch from the hook make 1 slip stitch and then make the second slip stitch and then slip stitch to the base. So for the base, again insert your hook into the 2 loops of the half double crochet and then make a slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 1, pull the yarn tight to make a knot and trim off the yarn. So here you are left with one tail yarn that you have to stitch it in, because as you remember, the first tail yarn, while we're making the stitches itself, we stitched it in. If you didn't do so, you will have 2 tail yarns that you have to stitch it in. So while stitching in the tail yarn, make sure you stitch it in into the pink section of, or inside into the stitches which are of the same color. So I'm using a smaller crochet hook and stitching the tail yarn into a few of the existing stitches, and once I feel that the yarn is secure enough, I'm going to trim off the extra and maybe later on dab a bit of fabric glue to make sure that the yarn does not come off later. So here our pattern is done. You could use fabric stiffeners to spray on top of it to hold the shape. I'm going to add an eye for the snail here. There, you could also stick an eye to it. You get the googly eyes as well. You could use those as well. So here, after adding the eye, you see that our pattern is complete and it looks super cute. I really hope you make this pattern and use it for some of your projects. Please do leave a feedback in the comment section on how you found this project, and do subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and click on the bell icon for notification on new videos, and give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful. Thank you very much guys, and have a great day ahead.